Last night, we brought you our extensive investigative report about a new digital smart gun that can only be fired by an authorized user. It's faced fierce opposition from the gun rights establishment.
What if there was a gun that a child couldn't shoot? A gun with the technology to ensure it can only be fired by its owner. Well, that gun exists. It's real. I held it. I fired it.
Good
Wow.
Shot. How does it feel?
Amazing.
Yeah?
It feels like a massive step forward, like the iPhone of firearms, a smart gun. There's just one problem. You can't buy it anywhere in America. That's not because it's illegal, and it's not because its manufacturer isn't trying to sell it.
Now the question is, can you sell it?
And the demand is there.
Yeah.
I receive emails constantly from people wondering where they can buy the handguns. Red means you are not the authorized user, or you have not activated the watch.
So when you grip that, it's telling you right now you cannot fire this gun.
Correct.
The Armatrix IP1 smart gun only functions if the owner is wearing a special watch.
My code is entered. It says it's good. I hit enter. Now I pick up the handgun, and it's green. Green means I'm the authorized user. Now I'm ready to fire.
If the watch and gun are separated by more than 10 inches, after, say, a suspect wrestles it away from a police officer, the gun stops working.
Putting the ammunition in. I can fire. I now take the wristwatch away. It is more than 10 inches. The grip tells me I cannot fire. I pull the trigger.
Don't fire.
I get nothing. I return it here within 10 inches. Pull the trigger. Twice, gun sellers have announced plans to sell the Armatrix Smart Gun, and twice they have reversed course after an intense backlash from the gun rights activists. We spoke to Maryland gun dealer Andy Raymond last week when he still planned to sell the Smart Gun.
This is all about freedom.
Right.
It really is, man. So even when the NRA, who's the bastion of great freedom, and they sit here and say this thing should be prohibited, how hypocritical is that?
So you know what's funny is
They're
that
bowing down to fear, bro.
Yeah.
It's cowardice. They're afraid. So they bow down to that, and that is cowardice. That is not what people who stand for freedom do. You stand up and you fight for what you believe. You do not bow down.
Andy Raymond says his stance resulted in death threats, and he slept in his store Thursday night out of fear it would be burned down. In an emotional video after the backlash, he asked for forgiveness.
If someone wants... And we will not sell the Armatrix pistol. I will not be part of anyone over anyone when it comes to guns. I believe my principles and whatnot were correct. Unfortunately, maybe I was wrong. I don't know.
After we reported on Andy Raymond last night, his company's Facebook page, once the site of such vitriol, filled with messages of support. You absolutely did the right thing in trying to sell the smart gun, one person wrote. If I'm ever in the market for an AR, I'm coming to you. Andy Raymond's critics had pointed to a 2002 New Jersey law that requires once a smart gun is sold anywhere in the country, gun sellers in New Jersey must, within 3 years, take other guns off the shelf and sell only smart guns. That 2002 law had the unintended consequence of rallying opposition to a single smart gun being sold in America. And last night, one of its chief backers, New Jersey Senate Majority Leader Loretta Weinberg, told me she would move to repeal that law on one condition.
If the NRA, the Gun Owners of America, those people who have stood in the way not only of the retail sales, they have also gone after gun manufacturers who were beginning to develop other technology other than Armatrix, that if in fact they would get out of the way of preventing the research, development, manufacture, distribution, and sale, I would move to repeal this law in the state of New Jersey.
We reached out to the NRA for a response to Weinberg's offer. Would the organization so oppose the smart gun soften its stance if New Jersey was willing to repeal its gun control law? We asked for someone to come on the show to respond, or at the very least give us a statement. We have heard nothing back. But joining me now is Larry Pratt, Executive Director of Gun Owners of America, the other organization that New Jersey State Senator Loretta Weinberg called out in her comments last night. So, Larry, how about it?
Well, how about a product that is only 80% effective.
Larry,
and
you said last time you and I talked and you said this. Where is that number from?
It's from the New Jersey Institute of Technology.
On this gun?
And, you know, that's a very, very problematic issue. She's basically saying
that's the point. That's the
if
point.
A faulty
if you
product
think this
is for
thing is
sale,
bad in its current iteration,
we're going to have to go ahead and impose her mandate.
No.
Even though the law is talking about a gun
you're
that
talking
doesn't
out of
work.
both sides of your mouth. Here's the question. Will you back off and allow this thing to be sold and not swarm people's Facebook pages and not tell people that you oppose us and not sick, you know, gun owners in America on someone that tries to sell it? If Loretta Weinberg says, okay, fine, we will take away the government mandate. If you think the gun is such a bad product, why do you not trust the market to render that judgment?
Well, the market's not going to be rendering a judgment thanks to her bullying by her legislation. Therefore, we have to make it clear
she's saying she will repeal it. That's what this is about, Larry.
This product is not ready for prime time.
If it's
20% of the time,
can you tell me why you
20% of the time, it won't work. And you're asking people to put their lives in the hands of a product like that?
Wait a second. Larry, why do you not trust consumers to render that judgment? I'm not going to run every consumer decision for everyone in America by Larry Pratt. Why should you have the veto? You and the NRA have the veto over what consumers' choice in the marketplace. If you think this is a terrible product, why do you not trust the market to render that decision?
Is it okay to put on the market a car that 20% of the time explodes on you and causes you harm or death? That's not the kind of way we operate our society.
So you would like to see the government regulate guns the way they regulate cars? You would like to see the government step in and decide whether a gun is safe enough to sell the way they say they do with cars?
The senator is imposing a mandate. She's violating the Constitution. She's sticking a faulty product into our hands that we don't want. And the way she set it up, all it takes is one dealer, and the whole state of New Jersey loses its ability to buy a decent gun after 3 years.
She is offering to repeal it if you will withdraw your opposition to this thing being sold.
You do what I say, and then I'll be nice to you.
No, I don't think so.
Thank you very much, Larry Pratt.